Whoever destroys one of the holy and pure names with which the Holy One, blessed be He, is called, is liable for lashes according to scriptural law. The prohibition is derived as follows. With regard to the worship of false gods, Deuteronomy 12:3-4 states, "And you shall destroy their names from this place. Do not do this to God, your Lord." 2. There are 7 names for God. A. The name which is written Yud-He-Vav-He. This is referred to as God's explicit name and is also written Aleph Daled Nun Yud. B. The name El. C. The name Eloah. D. The name Elohim. E. The name Elohai. F. The name Shaddai. G. The name Tzvaot. Whoever erases even one letter from any of these 7 names is liable for lashes. 3. All the letters which are connected to God's name but are placed before the name itself may be erased, e.g., the Lamd of Lamd Aleph Daled Nun Yud, or the Bet of Be Elohim, and the like. They do not possess the same degree of holiness as God's name itself. All the letters which are connected to God's name but placed after the name itself, e.g., the final Chaf of Elohecha, or the Chaf and the final Mem of Elohechem, and the like may not be erased. They are considered like the other letters of God's name, because the name conveys holiness upon them. Although holiness is conveyed upon them, and it is forbidden to erase them, nevertheless, a person who erases these letters, which are connected to God's name, is not liable for lashes. However, he does receive stripes for rebellious conduct. If one writes the Aleph and the Lamed of the name Elohim, or the Yud and the He of the name Yud-He-Vav-He, these letters may not be erased. Needless to say, the name Yeh may not be erased. It is considered as a name in its own right, because it is part of God's explicit name. However, if one writes the Shin and the Dalet of the name Shaddai, or the Tzadi and the Bet of the name Tzvaot, these letters may be erased. 5. Other descriptive terms, which are used to praise the Holy One, blessed be He. Example, the gracious, the merciful, the great, the mighty, the awesome, the faithful, the jealous, the powerful, and the like, are considered as other holy texts, but may be erased. 6. When God's name is written on a utensil, one should cut off God's name and bury it, even when God's name is engraved on a metal or glass utensil, and one melts the utensil, one is liable for lashes. Instead, one should cut off God's name and bury it. Similarly, if God's name was written on one's flesh, one should not wash or anoint oneself, nor may one stand in a place of filth. If it occurs that such a person must immerse because of a mitzvah, he should wind reeds around the name and immerse himself. If he cannot find reeds, he should wind his clothes around it, but should not wind them tightly so they will not become an intervening substance. This is acceptable, because the reason he is required to wind reeds around it is only because it's forbidden to stand before God's name when naked. 7. A person who removes even one stone from the altar, the temple building, or the temple courtyard with a destructive intent is liable for lashes. The prohibition is derived as follows. With regard to the worship of false gods, Deuteronomy 12:3 states, "And you shall tear down their altars." And the following verse continues, "Do not do this to God, your Lord." Similarly, a person who burns wood belonging to the temple with a destructive intent is liable for lashes. The prohibition is derived as follows. With regard to the worship of false gods, Deuteronomy 12:3 states, "And you shall burn their Asherot with fire." And the following verse continues, "Do not do this to God, your Lord." 8. It is forbidden to burn or to destroy by direct action any sacred texts, their commentaries, and their explanations. A person who destroys them by his direct action is given stripes for rebellious conduct. To what does the above apply? To sacred texts written by a Jew with a sacred intent. However, should a Jewish heretic write a Torah scroll, it and the name of God it contains must be burnt, since he does not believe in the sanctity of God's name and did not compose it for this purpose. Rather, he considers this to be similar to any other ordinary text. Since this is his intent, The names of God, he writes, do not become holy. It is a mitzvah to burn it so that no remembrance will be left of the heretics or their deeds. In contrast, if a Gentile writes God's name, it should be buried. Similarly, sacred texts that have become worn out or which were written by Gentiles should be buried. 9. All the names of God written in the passage concerning Abraham and the angels are sacred. Even the name of God in Genesis 18:3, my Lord, if I have found favor in your eyes, is also sacred. All the names of God written in the passage concerning Lot are not sacred, except Genesis 19:18-19. And Lot said to them, O God, no, I have found favor in your eyes, and you have saved my life. All the names of God written in the passage concerning the hill of Benjamin are sacred. All the names of God written in the passage concerning Micah are not sacred. All the names of God written in the passage concerning Navet are sacred. Every mention of the name Shlomo in the Song of Songs is sacred, except 8:12. You, Shlomo, may have the 1,000. Every mention of the word king in the book of Daniel is not sacred, except 2:37. You are the king of kings. Its status is like other descriptive terms for God. Please share this video to spread the goodness and be well. I give you my blessing.